So friends, I'm sure all of you are looking forward to see how you can get a residency in a European country. And in today's webinar, we are going to talk about why Portugal is so popular and why it is the best vehicle for getting moving to European Union and getting a citizenship in a European country. And before we start the webinar, or before we go into the detail in the presentation, I would like to know more about you to understand what are the reasons why you are looking at migrating, so that we can understand your requirements and accordingly move ahead with the presentation. So we'll be conducting some polls. I would request all of you to please participate in the poll, in this poll, so that we can understand you better. We would like to know what is the purpose for which you are considering migrating, to Europe. Can we just please have your participation in this one as well? Children's education, backup plan, future settlement or retirement, or it could be any other reasons. All right, so I can see that, a majority of people are looking at future settlement or retirement, almost 35% of the total people. 35% of the people are looking at backup plan, and 29% are looking at it for a children's education and settlement. So wonderful. So going ahead and, in this presentation, we'll show you how you can achieve this objective through the Portugal Golden Visa. We have been getting inquiries right from Punjab to Kerala and from Gujarat to Kolkata about people asking us about the Golden Visa program. So let's take a look at this Golden Visa program, and I'm sure many of you are primarily looking at moving into Europe. So before we move into that, Portugal Golden Visa, let's take a look at Europe and the European Union. Yeah, so let us first look at European Union. So many of you would have traveled to Europe and would be aware about, this particular concepts. Now, let us look at what is the difference between this concept. So first, we are talking about European Union. What is European Union? Now, European Union is a political and economic union of 27 European countries who have come together and decided to liberalize the borders between them so as to allow free movement of goods and services as well as people between these countries. Right, so you can see the list of these 27 countries over here, right from Australia, Belgium to Spain and Sweden. So these are the 27 countries which constitute the European Union. Now, the benefit of the Union is that if you are a citizen of any one of these countries, you can settle in any of these 27 European countries easily. The second concept that we have is the Schengen area. I'm sure many of you would have traveled to Europe and are familiar, would be having the Schengen visas. So what is Schengen? Schengen is essentially an arrangement. It's a short, limited arrangement between these 26 countries who will allow you to travel to any of these 26 countries on a single Schengen visa. So the main objective of Schengen is to make it easy for the tourists to travel to these 26 countries. Now, there are some countries which are common over here with European Union, whereas there are some countries which are part of the European Union, part of Schengen, like Switzerland, but not a part of European Union. And then we have the Eurozone. Now, Eurozone comprises of 19 European countries which have decided to use the same currency, which is euro. So these are the 19 countries. These are part of this 27 European Union countries which use a common currency, euro. Right, so this is the difference between the three concepts. We are primarily concerned with the broader concept, that is the European Union. Now let us look at what are the benefits of being a citizen of European Union. So like we said over here, the first benefit is that there is freedom of movement. Once you are a member of a EU country, you can move freely within any of these 27 countries. You can live there, you can work there, you can study there, and not only that, you also get education benefits. So for example, if your children, are planning to study in, let's say, France, Netherlands, Germany, or Sweden, or any other European country, then if they are a citizen of Portugal, then they will be entitled to education benefits in any of these other countries as well. So they will get subsidized education or free education in those countries also. Similarly, when it comes to healthcare, once you move to any of these 27 countries, you will be entitled to the healthcare benefits available to the citizens of those countries. The other advantage of being a citizen of European Union is that you get a very powerful passport. We'll be talking more about this in detail in the latter part of the webinar. And also, it is easy for you to conduct business in any of these 27 European countries. If you have, let's say, a company set up in Portugal, and then you want to start another business in Netherlands or France or Germany, you don't need too many permissions. You can just easily set up business over there. Now, let us look at why people want to move to Europe. One of the biggest reasons why people want to move to Europe is the quality of life. So when it comes to quality of life, life expectancy, happiness, vacation, leave, and recreation, etc., Europe scores very highly. It is almost at par or even ahead of other countries like US, Canada, UK, Australia, etc. And another benefit is, of course, the healthcare and the education. The level of healthcare and education in Europe is also at par with other developed countries, which we mentioned above. Now, having looked at, this Europe, let us come back to the Portugal Golden Visa. And let us look at why Portugal Golden Visa is considered to be the fastest path to getting European Union citizenship. Right, let us start with the numbers first. So over here, you can see the Portugal Golden Visa program had started in 2012. And over the last 10 years, more than 10,000 golden visas have been issued to individual investors. This does not include the family members. Along with family members, the number will be much more. But the individual investors, more than 10,000 people, these visas have been issued. And it's not surprising, like most other programs, Chinese are the number one over here. More than 50% of the visas have been issued to Chinese nationals. However, what is important over here is to look at the right side, where you can see the numbers for February 22. There have been 95 visas which have been issued. Out of this, 21 visas have been issued to US nationals. Now, this is surprising. Next at number 2 is China. And then we have India. Over the last 2 years, Portugal Golden Visa program has become very, very popular in India. And Indians are fast catching up with Chinese. So we can see over here that the trend is similar to what we had seen for the US EB-5 program. Some of you may be familiar with the US EB-5 program. This program gives you permanent residency in the US through investment. And over here, the Chinese were the first to join the party, way back in 2010. And the Indians joined the party late in 2015. And by 2019, Indians had taken over the Chinese in terms of number of EB-5 visa applicants. So similar trend is appearing over here. We can see that this visa is getting popular among Indians, and more Indians are going for the Portugal Golden Visa. And this is again evident from the fact over here. This is a snapshot from the article which was published recently, just about a couple of days back in Times of India. So this is an article which shows, that among Indians, the number one program for residency by investment is Portugal. And this is as per the RBI data. And then it is Australia, then you have US, you have Malta, and you have Greece. So you can see the Portugal Golden Visa program is getting increasingly popular with Indians, and this is supported by the numbers and the facts. Now let us understand more about Portugal. Let us look at this Portugal over here, location of Portugal over here on the world map. You can see it is located right over here on the southwest tip of Europe along the Atlantic Ocean. And it is located halfway between India over here and North America. And it has easy access to Europe, to UK, to Middle East and Africa. So you can see that it is very conveniently located, centrally located with access to all parts of the world. Another reason for this advantage of this particular location is that because of this location, it enjoys a fantastic weather. And that is the best part about Portugal. Portugal surprisingly is considered to be California of Europe, and that is because of its, weather. Yeah. So now let us take a closer look at Portugal as a country and what are the top cities over there. So right on top over here, we have Porto. Porto is the second largest and most prosperous city in Portugal. and it is a very, very famous tourist destination, especially among Europeans. And it has a World Heritage status. You will find a lot of ancient buildings, ancient architecture in this particular city. And for those football lovers, we saw on the chat, there are some people who had questions on football. So for the football lovers, you have the FC Porto Football Club, which is located over here. Thereafter, over here, along this coast, right in the middle, we have Lisbon. Now, Lisbon is the capital city. It is also a major international commercial hub of Europe. And Lisbon has a good blend of, historical architecture as well as modern living. So on one side, you will find ancient buildings, old buildings, architecture. And on the other hand, you will find beautiful modern buildings in Lisbon. Another thing you will discover in Lisbon is while you are walking along the sea coast, you will find luxury cruises docked over there. So it is a destination for luxury cruise in Europe. Right over here in the south, we have the Algarve region. Now, Algarve region is one of the most popular tourist destination in Portugal. And this region consists of, beaches. There are a lot of beaches. There is a lot of sand and sun over here. There's something similar to what we have in Goa over here. So a lot of people will go over there for fun. You have a lot of clubs. You have a lot of golf courses. Such a small region of Algarve has 30 golf courses, and some of the best golf courses of Europe are located in Algarve. And you have beautiful villas and properties along on the golf courses. And all these factors, make Algarve a very preferred destination for rich people to retire. We saw on the poll earlier that many of you are looking at retiring or settling in Portugal, and Algarve is the most preferred destination. A lot of people from North Europe and now US have been buying villas and moving to Algarve. Now let us look at why Portugal. First reason why Portugal is so attractive is its weather. It has, because of its location, we saw earlier, it has a very moderate weather. Even during winters, the minimum temperature goes to about 8 degrees centigrade, which is what we have in Delhi during winters over here. And the maximum temperature goes about 28 degrees to 30 degrees. Now, this is very good, particularly for us Indians. Many of us are not used to the cold weather, which is there in other countries like, Canada, UK, etc. So this climate suits us perfectly well. Also, there is a lot of sunshine, about 10 to 12 hours in summer and 4 to 6 hours in winter. The second reason is Portugal is considered to be third most peaceful country in the world. Right? This is very important in the current context. We know there are a lot of disturbances happening all across the world. We are seeing what is happening with Russia and Ukraine. And it is times like this that we need to be in a safe harbor. We need to have a safe harbor for our family. And Portugal provides just that. Many of our clients whom we have been talking to have been asking us that, why should we look at Portugal now? There is so much of disturbance happening in Europe with the war between, Russia and Ukraine. And I would like to say that, firstly, Portugal is located in southwest tip of Europe. So it has got sea on 3 sides and just one country, Spain, with which it enjoys very good relationship, right? Also, if you look at the history of Portugal, it has been a very peaceful country all throughout. I'm sure you would have not heard about Portugal in the news for any wrong reasons, having any conflict or any controversy. In fact, even during World War I and World War II, which was happening right in Europe, Portugal has remained almost, neutral during even these 2 wars, despite the fact that it was a colonial power, like UK, like Britain and France. It was a colonial power a few centuries back. But now we are seeing that it is very peaceful country. It is not involved in any kind of conflicts. Also, we have clients who are telling us that during this wartime, uncertain time, we don't want to go for any citizenship or residency program. We'll wait for things to settle down. Well, I would say that, we have to look the other way. In fact, times like this, it is for times like this that we need to create a backup plan for our family. We all know what is happening in Russia and Ukraine. We know Ukraine is being attacked and people from Ukraine are moving to other countries where are like refugees. Nobody thought 2 years, 3 years back that this kind of a situation will come. But we are eventually facing that situation. It's not only people in Ukraine who are suffering, but also people in Russia, because all over the countries in the world have stopped giving citizenship or residency to Russian citizens. So it is a time, it's exactly for time like this that we need to have a backup plan. We need to have an option so that we can, protect our family and take care of them. The backup plan or an alternative residency is like an insurance. Nobody knows when an unfortunate event will happen. But as and when, if and all that event happens, at least you have a protection, you have an insurance. You can move to other country and take care of your family. So I would strongly urge all of you, whoever can afford, should definitely look at a backup plan or an alternative residency to protect their family from such uncertain situations, whether it is COVID or whether it is war or any other political upheaval or any other situation. The other reason why Portugal is attractive is its powerful passport. Now, surprisingly, Portugal's passport is ranked ahead of passport of countries like US, Canada, Australia, and UK. And I'm sure this is an eye-opener. Many of you, I'm sure, will be hearing it for the first time. And we are going to take a look at it further in detail as to why this is, considered to be an eye-opener. Right. The other reason is Portugal is a very warm and welcoming country, especially for expats. Portuguese people by the very nature are very warm and friendly. If you visit over there you will find out. And also Portuguese language is more widely spoken. English is more widely spoken in Portugal than many other European countries like France, Germany, etc. And the connections with India, Portugal's connection with India go long back. We are very well connected. And the current Prime Minister of Portugal is of Indian origin. His ancestors were from Goa. So India and Portugal have a very good connect. The other important reason why people look at Portugal is because of relatively low cost of living. We all know Europe is a very, very expensive place. Many of you would have traveled to places like Paris, Munich, Berlin, Geneva, etc. And you know how expensive Europe is, right? But surprisingly, Portugal, the cost of living is very low. It is ranked at 22nd position on the cost of living index in Europe. So even in a capital city like Lisbon, you can live a very comfortable life with just about 2,000, 3,000 euros, which is what you require to live a good life in a city like Mumbai or Delhi. And also, all these factors make Portugal a perfect destination to retire. If you do a Google on best place to retire, you will come across Portugal in each and every article and each and every survey. That's how popular Portugal is for retirement. Right, moving on, let us look at the Portuguese passport and what are the advantages it offers. We have learned earlier that it is ranked ahead of US, UK, Canada, and Australia. And this is the reason. You can see in this graphics over here that with this passport, you can travel to more than 180 countries, right? And what is important is not only the number of countries, but what type of countries you can travel. And there are many other passports, which are available, Caribbean countries, which talk about 140, 150 countries, but those passports will not give you access to the countries which this passport gives, which is with this passport, you can travel, you can see all these green portions over here, the whole of North America, the South America, you have Australia, you have South Africa, you have New Zealand over here, you have Singapore, Malaysia, virtually all the countries where we Indians like to travel, you can travel visa-free with a Portuguese passport. And not only that, the portion marked in blue over here, these are the European Union countries. So in these countries, you can not only travel, but you can actually settle over there if you have a Portuguese passport. So that is the power of Portuguese passport. Now let us look at the Golden Visa program and why it is considered to be the easiest and the fastest way to obtain European Union citizenship. First, you just need to invest anywhere from 280,000 euros to 500,000 euros in a property or an investment fund to get the Portuguese residency. It's not like other residency programs of other countries where you need to get some points, you need to set up business, you need to move there, you need to work there, and only you get a residency. It's very simple. Just invest money and you get residency. You will get a residency typically within 1 year. We'll discuss the process in the later part of the slide and also the timelines. Also, unlike many other countries, this is a program where you don't actually need to move there and live there. The requirement is you need to spend just 7 days in a year to maintain your residency condition, which means you can just travel for a holiday in Portugal once a year and stay there for 7 days and maintain your residency. You can continue to live in your home country, manage your affairs over here, go for a holiday once a year to Portugal, and you will be good. So that is the reason why it makes a perfect backup plan, which we spoke about. And that is why it is getting more popular, that you don't disturb your existing plan, you just invest the money and you are creating a backup plan for the future. After maintaining your residency conditions for 5 years, you become eligible to apply for citizenship. Of course, when you are applying for your citizenship, you need to give your Portuguese language test, but that is a very basic language, very basic level test. And with a little bit of preparation, I'm sure all of you will be able to clear the test. The good thing is you get about 5 years to 6 years. You can start preparing and appearing for the test right now itself. And you can appear for the test for as many times as you want. And once you get a Portuguese citizenship, you are free to sell the property. So it's not necessary you need to continue holding to your property. After getting the passport, you can sell your property and you need not even stay in Portugal. So that's why it is very important. The only thing is that you will get a citizenship after 5 years to 6 years. So that's why it is very important for you to plan early. If you start now, if you invest now, you'll get a residency now and you'll get a passport after 5 to 6 years. Now, let us look at what are the requirements again. So, this is one of the USP of the Portuguese Golden Visa program, that it is very easy. There is not too much of requirement. Many of you are looking at migrating to other countries like Canada, UK, Australia, US, etc., which have a lot of requirements. When it comes to Portugal Golden Visa, it is very easy. Firstly, there is no age limit. So any adult at the age of 18 can apply for Portugal Golden Visa. Secondly, there is no language or education criteria. You don't need to give English language test. You don't need to have an education degree. You don't need to score any points. You don't need any management or business experience. Also, we have seen that for some of the programs like EB5, you need to give a detailed documentation in respect of source of funds as to how you have earned the money to, invest in this for the program. In case of Portugal, there is no detailed financial documentation required. All you need to give is a basic proof that you have enough money to invest. And again, unlike other immigration programs, there is no interview required over here. You don't need to go through any interview. The process is very simple. You can just sit here. While sitting over here in India, you can complete the entire process. All you need is to have investment. You need to invest funds for investment. You need to have a valid passport and civil documents. And you need to stay for 7 days a year in Portugal or 14 days in a block of 2 years. And you need to maintain your residency for the period of 5 years. This will make you eligible for Portuguese citizenship after 5 years. Now let us look at what are the benefits of Portugal Golden Visa. Now first, we'll look at the residency benefits, and these benefits become available to you immediately on getting the Golden Visa. So first thing is, of course, once you get your Golden Visa, you become a resident in Portugal. You can live in Portugal for as long as you want. You can work there. Your children can study there. You get education benefits. You get healthcare benefits, everything in Portugal if you decide to stay in Portugal. However, it is not necessary for you to stay in Portugal like we discussed earlier. You need to spend just 7 days a year or 14 days in 2 years in order to maintain your residency status. The other big advantage you will get immediately is you can travel visa-free to Schengen countries. So all the list of 26 Schengen countries that we saw earlier, with the Golden Visa, you don't need to apply for any other visa to go to these countries. You can travel visa-free to all these 26 countries, and you can stay there for 3 months out of 6 months. So in every block of 6 months, you can stay for 3 months or 90 days in all these Schengen countries. However, the major benefits of Portugal Golden Visa will kick off after you get the citizenship. And what are those benefits? Once you become a citizen of Portugal, you get citizenship of European Union, which means you can live, work, and study in any of these 27 European countries like France, Germany, Netherlands, Sweden, etc. And also you will get the Portuguese passport, which, like we mentioned earlier, is ranked ahead of US, UK, Australia. Right? Now let us look at another big advantage of Portuguese Golden Visa. Now, we have been getting, a lot of clients have been coming to us for moving to other countries, and they have been wanting to take their parents along. Now, unfortunately, most of the countries' programs like US, UK, Canada, Australia do not allow you to take your parents. But in case of Portugal, you can not only take your parents, you can also take your spouse's parents. And not only that, you can also take your children who are above 18 years of age, adult children, if you can prove that they are dependent, which means that they are studying and you are paying for their fees. So this is a very friendly program which covers your extended family. And you can take your spouse's parents also, don't forget that. So the entire extended family, you can take 5, 10, 15, 20 people with just one single investment. Moving on. Now let us look at the process and timeline for getting the Portugal Golden Visa. Right? The process starts with, first, you have to sign a contract with the lawyer. You have to get a tax number in Portugal. You need to open a bank account over there. After that, you need to transfer funds. You need to submit the documents. After transferring the funds, you need to do your investment. Once you get the proof of investment, you need to file your application online. And once your application is submitted, it takes about 2 to 3 months for the Portuguese, authorities to approve your application. Once your application is approved, you will get an email. They will ask you to come to Portugal to do the biometrics. So this is the time when you actually, want to have to move to Portugal. All the applicants who are included in the application who want Golden Visa will go to Portugal and you will do your biometrics over there. Once your biometrics is done, in about 4 to 6 months time, you will get your Golden Visa. So this process could take anywhere between 8 to 12 months. The first process of submitting your application, 3 months. After that, you have to wait for another 2 months for your application to be approved. And thereafter, about 6 months to get your Golden Visa. After your first initial Golden Visa, residency card is valid for a period of 2 years. After 2 years, you need to renew it again. And after that, you need to renew it again for a period of 2 years. So after your initial residency, there are 2 renewals of 2 years each. Now, after 5 years of maintaining your residency, you have an option of going for permanent residency as well as citizenship. So after 5 maintaining these conditions, you become eligible for citizenship. And for the purpose of citizenship, like we said earlier, you will have to give Portuguese language test. So this is what the process is over here. And also we need to keep in mind that this process is not really, compared to other programs, it is quite easy, but this process itself takes a lot of tasks. So it's not very easy. We have gone through clients have gone through the process, and we know how exactly it works. And you need to take care of both the legs of the transaction. You need to follow the process not only in Portugal, but also in India. There are certain requirements in India. Now let us look at what is it. You need to get certain documents certified. You need to get these documents translated. You need to get police clearance. And more importantly, you need to take care of remittance of funds, right? So there are a lot of people who have been talking to lawyers and immigration consultants in Europe, in UK, in Dubai, etc., for the purpose of Portugal Golden Visa. Now, those people who are located outside India, they are aware about what is the process in Portugal, but they are not aware about what is the process in India. They may not be able to help you on how to get the certification done. They will not be able to help you on how to get the translation done. Police clearance, certainly they will not be able to help you with that. And also when it comes to remittance of funds, they are not aware about the laws, etc. in India. So you need to be sure that you are dealing with someone who is aware about not only process in Europe or in Portugal, but also in India. This is very important. And we have had cases where clients have been struggling, those who have done their Portugal Golden Visa with people in Portugal or in UK, they have been struggling to complete the India leg, and they have approached us for the same. Now let us look at what are the various investment options available. First, you can invest in a property, 500,000 euros in a ready property or under construction property, or you can invest this in a venture capital fund. Now, with effect from 1st January 22, there are some changes in the Portugal's Golden Visa rule. Some of you may be aware about it. So, because now with effect from 1st January 22, your investment in residential property is allowed only in certain areas. So the big cities which we spoke about, Lisbon, Porto, Algarve, you cannot invest in a residential property over there. But there are other areas in Portugal on the outskirts of these big cities or on the interior where you can invest in a residential property. However, when it comes to commercial property, like shop or an office premise, you can invest in any part of Portugal, including Lisbon, including Porto and Algarve. So commercial property, 500,000 in any part of Portugal. When it comes to residential property, there are certain restrictions. The other option for those of you who are comfortable with investing in financial instruments, you can also invest in venture capital investment funds. This amount again has moved up from 350,000 to 500,000 with effect from 1st January 2022. Next, we have 350,000 in a property. So this is a lower amount, and this will be, you can invest in a property which is more than 30 years old and which is going for rehabilitation. As we know, Portugal is a very old city, and the government over there is encouraging renovation. So if you are investing in or renovating an old property, the government will give you concession and you need to invest minimum of 350,000 euros only. Then we have a third category of investment, which is 280,000 euros or approximately 2.5 crores. Now here again, you need to invest in a property which is more than 30 years old, which is going for rehabilitation or renovation. But this property is located outside the urban area. So it could be in a small city or a town or some historical location, and you need to invest only 250,000 euros in this particular location. So now, friends, we have seen the process for Golden Visa. We have seen the investment option. Let's quickly summarize why Portugal Golden Visa is so popular. The first thing we have seen, it's a quick and easy process. Second benefit of Portugal Golden Visa is that it covers your extended family, your parents, including self and spouse, as well as adult dependent children. Third, and the biggest advantage of Portugal Golden Visa, which makes it very attractive as a backup plan, is flexible stay requirement. You don't need to move and stay in Portugal all the time. You just need to spend 7 days a year. The other advantage is that this program could lead to, if you maintain your residency for 5 years, it could lead to European Union citizenship. And the fourth and the biggest advantage is, of course, a very powerful Portuguese passport, which is ranked ahead of other countries, which we spoke about. So friends, these are some of the key reasons why Portugal Golden Visa is so popular. Now let us look at why wealthy people are going for Portugal Golden Visa. The first, like we discussed, is a backup plan. We already discussed that why everybody who can afford should have an insurance plan or backup plan for the family, just in case you need to move out of your home country for any reason, anytime in future. Also, people are looking at it for the children's education. Now, I would like to say that this is very important. Many of you will be planning to send your children to Europe for education. Now, I've got friends whose children are studying in Europe. Some of them children are, completing their education, and now they are in the process of taking up a job over there. And they are finding it increasingly difficult to get jobs, because when it comes to jobs or even campus placement, first preference is given to citizens of European Union. So if your children are studying in, let's say, France, and, they want to take a job will be given first to a citizen of any of these 27 European Union countries. So if you are planning to settle your children in Europe in future after complete their education, I think you need to start planning now. After 5 years, when they get European citizenship, they will be able to get a job very easily in a country like Germany, France, Sweden, etc. And then the other advantage is people are looking at it as a retirement. So we already discussed why it is so attractive for the purpose of retirement. Now let us look at how we can help you with the Golden Visa process. We'll handhold you throughout the process. We are based over here in Mumbai. We have our offices across India. We have helped many clients over the last 2 years. Even during the time of COVID, we have had many clients who have, gone for the Golden Visa, and we have helped them with the entire process, right from not only in Portugal, but also in India. And we have clients who have visited Portugal even during COVID time, who have been there, who have selected property, who have purchased property. There are clients who did not go to Portugal to select the property, but invested while being in India and still managed to go to Portugal and get the biometrics done. This was despite all the restrictions across Europe on travel due to COVID. Right, so we have hands-on experience in handling not one, not two, but many clients for Portugal Golden Visa. We can help you in identifying the right lawyers. We have connections with them. We can help you in getting the tax number in Portugal, opening the bank account. We can help you in identifying the right kind of investment, recommend the investment to you. Or if you want to go to Portugal and you have identified property yourself, we can review it for you and recommend you, give you our views on the property. We can assist you in getting all the certification and translation of the documents done in India as well as in Portugal. We can help you in getting police clearance. We have gone to the police station ourselves. I have gone with my clients to police station to complete that police clearance process, and we have been able to get it very quickly. And last and the most important thing is getting banking and remittance. Now, this is very important because there are certain requirements in case of Portugal Golden Visa, which requires, which puts restriction on how you can invest money. And many clients have got stuck. Many clients who have done the Golden Visa process with other lawyers in Europe or in UK or in Dubai have got stuck because they have not been able to send the funds outside India. We have had clients who have approached us through other bankers. Even their banks in India were not able to help them, and they approached us, and we guided them as to how they can remit money outside India and for the purpose of investment in Portugal, which is compliant with Portuguese laws as well as Indian laws. Right? So this is a reason why people come to us. We are a team of qualified professionals with experience not only in immigration, but also investment banking, finance, and taxation. We have got hands-on experience in handling Portugal Golden Visa from India, and we have very good connections and relationships with lawyers, bankers, real estate brokers and developers, funds, and also certifying and investment agencies. So this is a one-stop solution. We'll take care of the entire process in India as well as in Portugal and help you get your Portugal Golden Visa with fastest possible time and in the most convenient manner. Right? Thank you. So with this, we'll end our presentation.
Let us help you achieve your dream. We at Acquest specialize in permanent residency and citizenship by investment programs being offered by governments of American and European countries. Our team of professionals is here to help you complete your migration journey and land safely at your chosen destination. Acquest, your trusted immigration advisor.